The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back at it again. Thank you, folks, for joining The Local Show as we creep into spring and as I sit with a creep. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Tom. Just creep along.
My creep.
You gotta just wake up. I think the sunshine we were talking about affects being awake.
Right.
Right? I don't know. Even in the summer, it's I don't know. In the winter, I think God made our body to sleep more. Yeah. Maybe that's why it's dark more. I don't know. I think there's physics behind it all, but by gosh,
what I know is that I'm smart enough to know that I don't know anything. And as I watch my YouTube influencers around health and everything and see all of the different opinions.
But so when you say you don't know anything, listeners wouldn't grasp this from listening to you, but you actually know a lot. They wouldn't get that by your normal listen, but when you and I have conversations, you're like, yeah, there's this, and then this is this. I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. I mean, you've got a lot of knowledge.
You really don't know what to believe, though.
That's the key.
I got one influencer who says, make sure that when you get up, you look into the sun. Get some sun. And, you know,
I've heard the whole sun, and happy light thing. They have a light that
red light therapy, all that, right?
Well, the blue light, it's got to be high Kelvin temperature. That's I know that because of photography. So it's got to be 5,000 K or more, and that changes stuff.
Well, the vitamin D that you can get from the natural sunlight, and to get it into your eyes, not only helps your eyes, but the brain and all that.
You're supposed to stare into the light?
Well, that's right. They say, well, make sure you look. You know, don't look directly, but maybe off to the side. Then I saw another influencer say, well, don't look at the sun because then you're getting radiated and you're going to burn out your retinas.
Well, that kind of makes sense, too.
Right.
So back to the stupid little light. They have those lights.
Yeah. I know people who use it. Well, the red light is the big thing.
Okay, and I know people who watch it's actually
the
red
light. Oh, yeah. It's a red light therapy, yeah. And they actually make the device, and you sit in the, you can do it, while you're working on your computer or whatever, you have it off to the side and
what are you supposed to believe? I
don't know.
Keep my cholesterol down. I should plunge into 35-degree water. I should stare at a red light. I should only eat blue food. There's all these weird things.
And some things work for some people and they don't for others. One thing's for sure, you don't want bugs in your house.
Wow.
You don't want rodents running around.
Look at that.
Yeah, Jerome's here. Jerome Snyder is the owner of Pestmaster Services and Pestmaster Syracuse. How are you there, Jerome?
Like a dream country, Tom.
I know you are.
He's never said that before.
What's the weirdest or most unexpected pest that you've ever had to deal with since you started this business?
The weirdest and most unexpected guest.
Yeah.
The weirdest ones, Tom, are the ones that don't exist. So we don't get a lot of them, but we do get a couple customers who are feeling itching or they're seeing stuff that don't exist. There's this little furry thing that's under my bed or this stuff running around.
Seriously, you deal with stuff like that?
We do. So there's some unfortunates out there, and they have my number on speed dial, and I try to be as patient with them as possible, but they're sending me pictures, and no, that's dirt.
But how do you know? This could be like Harvey the Rabbit from the Jimmy Stewart movie, where it's like he only sees it, right? But you don't. Like
I remember that movie.
I do this for a living, and I know. So like when it's the bugs, I have my laptop, and I've got a microscope that I had to plug into it. So I will take it right in and I will go, look, Tom, you don't have anything here. Look, that's just dirt. That's just a piece of fuzz. There's no living. There's no legs. There's no antenna. There's no wings, right? There's no body parts. That's just a piece of dirt. And you try to be patient with the people.
Have you?
So those are the.
So there's no monsters under the bed. No monsters under the bed.
Well, there are, but in these cases there aren't,
Have you ever had to remove a duck-billed platypus?
I have not gotten a duck-billed platypus. I have a picture of... Do people listen to this, right?
Yeah,
I have a picture of a snake that's 13 feet long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, is this somebody lost the snake?
Was that here locally?
Wait,
kidding.
Tom, 13 feet long.
That's not small.
That's
so
like
what kind of a snake is it? What kind of a snake would that be?
It was a pet of somebody's.
Oh, it was, okay.
And that they must have let it out. And yeah.
Do you remember the type at all?
I
Probably like a boa
think about it. I'm not a big snake guy, and I was terrified of it. So.
Good golly.
So we had to make some calls to the government.
So, Jerome, how long have you been in the Pestmaster world?
6.5 years.
So 6.5 years of owning this business.
That's correct.
And then prior to that, what were you doing? You were
I'm a chemist by education, and I started out my career with pharmaceuticals. So I worked out in Buffalo at Bristol Myers. Not the Bristol Myers here, but the Bristol Myers in Buffalo.
Okay.
And then I went to another little company up on Grand Island, worked there for a bit, and then moved out here, and we were doing some stuff with my wife's family, and so I was more of a chemist type guy.
Right. And what when you got this business, what were you thinking? Were you thinking, I want to be a little different than just an exterminator?
Yeah, I was thinking that I in my life I had kind of developed or manufactured, improved on some products that were non-pesticide pesticides. So instead of using traditional permethrins or other things that just kill the bugs, we were using, the things like your cedar oil and your cedar closet, and peppermint oil and different products like that, cottonseed oil, different things that are effective against different kind of pests. And I was doing that for a while, and I had been doing manufacturing for too long, honestly. You need to change your life. And I was like, you know what, I'm on the wrong end of this production line. I need to be out there doing something with these products that I've been manufacturing. And so I made the plunge. I needed change. It was July 7th, 2018, and outdoor I go.
Yeah.
And on never look back.
When did you transition into also getting a license to remove rodents and things like that, or bigger animals?
So the regular thing is part of the initial license back in 2018, and then I got my nuisance wildlife license right in 2019, I believe.
So
it was 6-8 months in, I got that license.
Okay, so woodchucks, possums, squirrels, all that.
That's right.
Someone that doesn't have that certification legally shouldn't be helping you with that stuff. Is that fair?
My license allows me to transport a wild animal. If number one, there's zoonotic diseases you can get, so you don't want to be handling something if you're not trained, if you don't have the right equipment, if you don't have the right stuff. You can get diseases from these animals pretty easily.
Yeah.
But transporting them, I'm going to catch that chipmunk and I'm going to go release it in the park, that's illegal. And if the DEC finds you on that, they will have a good talking to you.
Why does that bother them?
So the idea is that it might have a disease. So, at your house, that might have some diseases that those animals have there, and then you take it over to Tom's house because you want to release it in his yard, and it might take some diseases with it over to that area and introduce it to the population there. The other thing is that those little squirrels, they have a cache. Like, they know where their food is, they know where things are stored. Even raccoons, they know where to get food. So if you take it someplace else where it's not familiar, they're gonna starve, and they're gonna die a worse death than they are. So transporting them is not legal. It's not a good thing to do. There are some cases where you can do it. There's some wildlife rehabilitators. There's a bat wildlife rehabilitator down south. There's some bird rehabilitators around. So there's some cases where you do want to do that.
Go ahead.
Can you have a pet? Can I have a pet possum?
You don't want a pet possum.
You don't.
Like, get the we have dogs and cats, and you don't need a pet skunk, and you don't need a pet possum.
All right,
those things belong out in the wild.
Yeah, on the heels of that, I wanted to ask you, we have so many great areas around our area.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. But anyway, it's beautiful. We have a lot of countryside and all that. So as the spring comes, is there anything that looks cute, any animal that looks cute, from foxes to squirrels to possums, like you were talking, or woodchucks, that come into people's yards that they should stay away from, even though they are cute and fuzzy and all that?
All of them. You don't want to mess with the wildlife. They are out there doing their thing, and you need to leave them be. People call us about fox, and I will tell you, I don't even try to trap the fox. I'll talk to the customer. I'll come out and look. I'll see, what's going on with it. I'll check it, is it acting okay or nothing like that. But, the fox are out there doing their thing. They have their job. They're around for a little bit when they're denned up, and then off they go.
So here we go. Winter is over. I'm going to declare that.
Yeah.
Things are going to be moving. Animals are going to be moving around. 598-4046.
That's me. 598-315-598-4046.
4046. Pestmaster.com.
Yeah.
Jerome Snyder, thanks for being the quote-unquote Pestmaster.
I am the Pestmaster.
Cucuchucho.
Yeah.